What is up guys, Fahan here and welcome back to another ultimate review. This is a review of the SYM Jet 14. Huge thanks to Gigarider for loaning me this bike for the review. Alright guys, you're back at the city of Madini here in Gelang Patah, and here I have with me is the SYM Jet 14. Okay, so once again this bike is loaned out to me by Gigarider. They have a whole range of bikes that you can rent from them, from Aeroxes, NMAXs, ADV 150s, but they also got unique bikes that I have reviewed before, the Svart Villain and the Grom lah. You guys, if you're keen to rent a bike, you can always check them out lah. The SYM Jet 14 or Jet 14. So this is officially our first ever SYM review. It's in ultimate review lah. We have already done an owner's review of a GTS 200, an old bike in which probably is scrapped by now. And of course, as you know, SYM, they're very well known in their home country of Taiwan in competition with Kymco. Scooters are a very popular form of transport over there. So the name Jet 14 is alluded to the fact that the wheels is 14 inches lah, which is a common size on all of the automatic scooters lah. Okay, so according to official specs, fuel tank is 7.5 liters with a projected range of up to 280 kilometers lah, which pretty decent, I must say, but could be better lah. Oh my god, such a hot day today. And wearing this full suit makes it even hotter. At least it shields you from the sun lah. So I am gonna put my chin bar down immediately. Starting up pretty straightforward, uses a key, okay. It doesn't come with a transponder like some of the automatic scooters do. But I mean, it's a budget oriented scooter. Clutch in, brake in and then press the starter. But despite it being a basic and budget-oriented scooter, I'm pretty surprised by its performance. It's pretty much on par with the ADV 150, the X-Max, the Aerox, the PCX. Kind of similar in performance. In terms of acceleration, I would reckon the SYM is slightly better. Handling, slightly could have been better lah. Also, one thing prominent about this bike is the fact that the turn signals are so loud that it feels as if like it's a car or something. But I mean, I get it on why the signal indicators are loud lah. Maybe it's because of the fact that most car riders in Europe, they usually ride a scooter and they will prefer loud indicators on a bike lah, I would reckon, because most countries in Europe, you don't really need a motorcycle license to ride a scooter. Just a car license is enough. That's why 125cc scooters exist, because in those countries the limit a car license holder can ride a motorcycle or scooter is 125cc lah. Pretty talky, acceleration is pretty decent, I must say. Single channel ABS at the front. Brakes are pretty decent, really good. Performance wise is good lah, but the handling could have been better. And with its weight of 134 kg, pretty light bike, for pretty standard for a scooter also. Start-stop traffic, no issues. You know, being a basic scooter, it doesn't come with certain features that most of the mainstream scooters have, like start-stop idling. And the underseat storage is pretty questionable. It's really small because there's no fuel tank. The fuel tank isn't here. It's actually under the seat, leaving you with a flat floorboard for you to put like maybe a kilogram of rice, which Malaysian reviewers usually appreciate on such a bike. I mean, the Vario 160 also is another kind of automatic scooter with a flat floorboard. Very loud ticking with the signal indicators, but I mean, it is what it is. Why I say handling could be slightly better is because I feel that on the rest of the automatic scooters that I've ridden, it's more nimble, it's more agile, but this one takes a bit of getting used to. Once you get used to the bike, it should be okay lah. Once again, as an urban oriented budget friendly scooter, it has no troubles transversing start-stop traffic and all that, slow traffic. I was lane splitting with this bike when I was heading into the Johor immigrations. No trouble at all, pretty nimble, pretty agile. Feels like I'm riding a kapchai. I mean, the pickup is pretty good. Get off the line, it's pretty fast, very comparable to the SRGT. But I need to whack a bit lah, because when I tried it out for the first time, it's a bit sluggish. But when I got used to the bike, you know, I got pretty comfortable with it.
Marketed as a budget-friendly urban scooter, the SYM Jet 14 is a basic model of the Jet series. The Jet 14 is SYM's most popular model in Europe. In 2022, the Jet 14 received a minor upgrade with LED lighting and full LCD gauge cluster. Engine is a 168.9cc air-cooled single-cylinder 4-stroke SYM with electronic fuel injection and an automatic CVT transmission.
Alright guys, so take note for the SYM Jet 14. There's actually 3 variants. This is the 200cc variant. Okay, there's also 50cc and 125cc, but those are primarily marketed for Europe lah, so you wouldn't really see them much in Malaysia and Singapore lah. Right guys, so as usual, we're gonna start off with the riding position. Okay, so sitting on this bike right now, as you can see, is this typical scooter riding position. Okay, sitting pretty upright, my knee folded in quite a bit. Pretty much you're like sitting on a chair. Is this typical scooter riding position. So after riding for quite a while, you tend to hunch your back, so do straighten it from time to time. Okay, so I'm 165 and at the right height of 78 cm. It's flat-footed, completely on the ground, so I think vertically challenged riders wouldn't have any issues. Coupled with his weight of 134 kg, it's a good combination for riders who are vertically challenged, if you ask me lah. Alright guys, so up next we come to the design. So with its sharp angular lines, it's meant to evoke an urban, modern and aggressive appearance, but at the same time it's not too futuristic. It feels rather dated lah, if you ask me. In my personal opinion, when you look at it from afar, it seems to resemble a downsized old generation T-Max, particularly the 2014 version. Usually for a modern era scooter, there's a bump over here in this area to accommodate the chassis and fuel tank, but the Jet 14 has a flat floorboard instead. The proper name for it is step-through. They are usually more prominently seen in Vespas, but for me, I'm not really too keen with this sort of design for modern scooters such as this. But there are benefits to a strap-through like this. It's great when you want to mount on it. Just slide in your legs, don't really need to spread them. Great for when you're wearing like kain pelikat. More modesty for the ladies. And for some people, they really appreciate the extra cargo space over here. You can put like bags of rice or groceries. So up next we come to the handlebar. So for the handlebar, as you can see, it's a naked setup. There's no plastic cladding, meaning that it's easy for you to mount accessories on it, like handphone mount, Insta360. For the riding controls, the switches are pretty basic, as there's not much riding features on it. To the left over here, we got the high beam, low beam, and the seat open button combined together in one switch. Signal indicators, horn, and to the right over here, there's simply the starter. There's no kill switch. There's no hazard. Up next is the gauge cluster. The gauge cluster is a combination of LCD and analog. The fuel gauge is analog. The speedometer is analog. On the extreme right, there's a digital side. The tachometer, the odometer, and the clock is displayed on the tiny LCD display. When I was researching about this bike, okay, for the current models, especially the 2022, 2023, they have switched to an all LCD display. So to toggle, we got the S. You can toggle between the voltmeter and time, trip meter and the odometer. It's a basic scooter, there's not much riding tech on it. Feels as if I'm riding a classic bike or a Royal Enfield in this case. Still uses halogen lighting, but for the recent update, they have switched to LED. Single channel ABS on the front, a small LED display on the gauge cluster. Once again, no hazard light, no USB. It is what it is. Right guys, so as a scooter, you'd expect storage. So for over here, we got a storage cubby. Note that you cannot lock this while the bike is turned off. So to open, it's quite small. So cannot even fit my mobile phone inside. I just put my passport there. No USB once again, so you cannot charge on the go. So there's a hook in the middle over here for you to hang whatever you want to hang, like groceries or your teh tarik. So to access the underseat storage, you twist the ignition all the way to the right, just enough for you to put one helmet, and the fuel tank is also under here. Feels like a Kapchai or an old school bike or old school Gilera. Right guys, so horn check for the SYM Jet 14. The horn is kind of soft. I think there's some issues with it, but probably more than enough
for you to alert the driver next to you lah. So up next you come to the colors that's available for the SYM Jet 14. Okay, so this one being reviewed right now is the white color. There's also grey, brown and jet black. So rather boring. They could have used more vibrant colors. I think they want to emulate the NMAX or X-Max on this, but I wish they had just more vibrant colors lah. Finally, we come to the price. Okay, so the dealer is not consulted with the price, of course. The dealer is Mamoto for SYM bikes in Singapore. And according to our Carousel posting, the machine price is listed as 5,200. Comes with 1 year warranty or 10k mileage. And just for fun, of course, in Malaysia, the machine price is 7,888. Okay, so comparing with the Honda PCX, the most basic mainstream automatic scooter, priced at 7,220 from Honda Bunsio, the Jet 14 seems like a pretty good deal if you ask me.
So being a basic budget-friendly oriented kind of scooter, it doesn't come with like certain features that most of the mainstream manufacturers have, such as hazard lights and stop idle. The features are pretty sparse, but I will reckon that if you're looking for a budget-oriented scooter at a price point where it's affordable, these are some of the inconveniences that may seem minor to you lah. But it will still be nice to have. But if you ask me, I'd rather spend a bit more just to get those features. Oh yeah, and one thing I like about these SYM scooters, the suspension is probably the best on any automatic class 2B scooter I've ever been on. Minor bumps and road imperfections and all that, it really absorbs and provides a nice, comfortable ride. While most of the automatic scooters, including the SR GT that I tested before, which I touted as the spiritual successor to the Gilera ST Runner, right? Even the suspension isn't too good. You can really feel every bump, every road imperfection in your ass. But for this one, it provides a nice, comfortable ride. It's not that prominent but huge bumps, huge humps and all that, you are definitely able to feel it But talking about those minor bumps and road imperfections, which I'm pretty surprised that this scooter is able to take on, I mean, usually most of the riders, they will change out the suspension to YSS or Öhlins just because it provides a nice, comfortable ride. But for this one, stock right out of factory, already have the comfortable suspension, and it doesn't bother me too much as I'm riding. Okay, so top speed, it doesn't do too well. I feel that its comfortable speed is 90. More than 90, you can feel the bike struggling a bit. SYM, they themselves, they are scooter manufacturer they manufacture mainly scooters. But speaking of that, I like the engine. It's very smooth, smoother than most of the mainstream automatic scooters. I feel that the SRGT beats the SYM though. No windshield in front of you, so you're feeling the full force of the wind. So I'm not sure if there's much accessories for the Jet 14. I never really see so much of it in Singapore, but in Malaysia it's kind of common. Yeah, I did see Jet 14s with Malaysia plate in Singapore, in Johor also. And once again, at that price point, provides riders with a cheaper option for an automatic scooter, I feel. Comparing to the cheapest mainstream scooter in Singapore, which is like the PCX, that is like $3,000 more than the SYM, which is why there's so much of it in Malaysia, because there are riders that are just surviving, but they want a transport to get around with. And that's when the Jet 14 comes into the picture I'm on the highway, I'm at full throttle right now and I'm stuck at 90. So it's not really a fast bike. Even the MT-15 and the Kapchai overtake me already. Don't expect to go fast with it But surprisingly, you don't feel the engine struggling. It just stays there at 90, 95, and it's already at 8,000 RPM. So city riding, slow traffic, no issue But highway, when you need to go fast, it's not really that good
So I've had the SYM Jet 14 for 4 days, and I can go on and complain about this bike's lack of features, its basicness, its handling, performance, etc. But this is not how I want to approach these reviews Instead, I want to discuss on the reason why such a bike like the Jet 14 exists. Just a bit of background, the Jet 14 is rather quite a popular bike in Malaysia, given the Jet 14's rather basic features, or rather lack thereof. It gives riders who need transport a budget-friendly option. And after I had a conversation with a friend about SYM scooters, Kimco scooters, like scooters out of the mainstream brands, for SYM, he describes the scooters as robust, high of quality, and as basic as the Jet 14 is, it's no different from the rest of the SYM models, and I can really see it in the build quality also. Engine is more refined, smoother and reliable. The launch may be slightly average, but the low to mid-range torque is definitely better than any other scooter I've ridden other than the SRGT lah. But however, being SYM, you can expect the replacement parts to be slightly on the high side. But I reckon that for such a basic scooter like this, it should be somewhat competitively priced. Some riders may go for ADV, some riders may go for NMAX, and even as basic as the PCX is, and they may overlook this bike. But it's okay. Such a bike, target demographic for the Jet 14 is for those riders who want a budget-friendly option and are just looking for basic transportation need. So once again, huge thanks to Gigarider for allowing me this bike for the review. You can check out their social media pages for all the range of bikes they have if you're keen on renting a bike. So that's it for the vlog, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Give me all of your